Hello, Top Fan Rivalry followers. Welcome to Wednesday. Today is an exciting day because it is the 100th episode this year. We call them seasons for calendar years, but as you can see, it's just me. Today is going to be on YouTube as well as audio. So if you're listening to this on RSS feed or anywhere where you find your podcast, you're welcome to go check out the YouTube channel and see me as we're just kind of talking things through and just kind of tell you a little bit about Top Fan. For me, this is like a dream come true, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that as we go on. For those of you that are watching this, you can see I'm in my messy home office, but I've got my jerseys displayed. Typically, when I go to a new ballpark, I'll get a jersey that says Top Fan Rivalry. I've got A's, Dodgers, uh, Sugarland Space Cowboys, a couple of Royals jerseys. I've got the jersey for the Las Vegas Aviators up there. I've got Astros up there. It's a lot of fun to just kind of collect the jerseys. I started putting number one on them, or the first one that was given to me had number one. I put my baseball number on them, number 10, and I put Top Fan Rivalry on there. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you actually can see the jerseys hanging up. But please ignore my home office. I was supposed to do this in my actual office today, but it just didn't work out. Anyways, a little bit about Top Fan and why this is such a special time for us. Top Fan Rivalry started in 2020. We started a YouTube channel in 2020. Me and a buddy of mine, Angels Dodgers, kind of rivaling it out, and at a certain point, we had taken it as far as we were going to take it. My buddy bowed out, and I continued with Top Fan Rivalry. In 2022, I started the audio version, which, believe it or not, on January 1st of 2022 was when we dropped our first audio recording. It was with a friend of mine named Brian. Brian's an Angel fan, and so he was the first episode ever that we did. Since that time, we've done over 500 episodes. We've had over 175,000 downloads on those episodes. So apparently, we must be saying something fun because people keep listening to us. But it's been such an honor and a privilege and a pleasure to meet everybody that we've met. We started with going gangbusters, going crazy with the podcast. And then 2022, for those of you that don't know, through me in life, a little bit of curveball, and my wife, Amber, I was diagnosed with cancer in 2022, very unexpectedly, had a very nasty surgery to remove the cancer, and then spent 7 months in chemotherapy in 2022. So the show must go on. We continued to film episodes or record episodes, but they were a little bit more few and far between than what we would normally do. Um, Luckily enough, I was blessed and I am cancer free now. I've been cancer free for over 2 years, which is a fantastic, well, I should say a year and a half now, which is a fantastic thing. And we picked up right where we left off. So in 2023, you saw episodes, audio episodes. In 2024, you see audio and visual episodes. So we're just picking up right where we left off. We filmed 16 podcasts a week. So we have 11 different podcasts that go into our locker room every week. We do the Odd Couple, which features Mikey and Dave. That is a podcast that is an Astro fan and a Dodger fan. We do Bleeding Blue, which features Mikey. We do a Can of Corn, which features Dave. We do Lady on the Diamond, which features Lena. We do Astros in Orbit, which features Susie. We do a number of different ones. We do College K with Dave. We do Around the Diamond with Sam, the weekly review with Jackson. We do Unraveling the Red Sox with Mike. We do Friars on Deck with Rick. So, and we also do Tiger Town Talk with Harmony. We do several different podcasts each week that go in our locker room. And then we also do the ones that you hear audio here. So if you're listening to it again on RSS feed, or if you're listening to it on iHeartRadio or Spotify or wherever you listen to it, those are our free episodes, which is absolutely amazing. Um, this week alone, we had Mikey Bleeds Blue on. We had Jason Beck on, who's a Yankees fan. You're getting me today. Tomorrow, you'll get Jen. She's a Mets fan. Friday, you get Marissa, who is a Twins fan. So Top Fan Rivalry covers all 30 teams. The genesis of it was to create a community-based organization, something that would allow for fans to come together of all teams, right? And whether or not we agree or disagree with our fandom, everybody gets to fan however they want to fan. And that's the exciting part about Top Fan Rivalry. So since we got started, we've had a lot of fun. Since 2022 and since overcoming a cancer diagnosis, we have managed to do many, many, many things. You see behind me the Sugarland Space Cowboys jersey. We are official corporate partners with the Sugarland Space Cowboys. So if you go onto their website and you look up their schedule, you'll see on September 15th is Fan Appreciation Day, and it's presented by Top Fan Rivalry. I've been told that I'm throwing out a first pitch there. It's going to be absolutely exciting to be able to have such an experience. We created a brand ambassadors program that allows for people to come into Top Fan Rivalry and be able to become brand ambassadors. It's absolutely a phenomenal, phenomenal thing. We've done radio interviews with AJ from Bleacher Brothers. He's had us on a number of times. AJ and his crew are absolutely phenomenal, phenomenal people. They've done some great, great jobs with that. We've established other exclusive partnerships. We established a relationship with Joe from Pop Art Sports Cards, who makes all of our baseball cards. So for those of you that are interested in baseball cards, let us know. We did that. We've done a number of visits where we've done watch parties. We've been to Houston, we've been to San Diego, we've been to LA, we've been obviously to games in San Francisco and a game in Oakland. We've been to Kansas City. We've been to St. Louis. We've been to Philadelphia. We've been to Boston. We've been to Baltimore. We just keep hitting every place that we possibly can. Anywhere there's a fan, that's where Top Fan Rivalry wants to be. We call ourselves Sports Talk Fan Evolved. That's who we are, right? And so I couldn't be more proud of that. This was a dream of mine for years to be able to bring people together to talk about baseball. Now, in all fairness, I'm a Dodger fan. I grew up a Dodger fan. I grew up closer to Angel Stadium than I did Dodger Stadium, but somehow or another, I became a Dodger fan. And I absolutely love baseball. And it was always my dream to be able to talk about baseball and to bring the community feel together, which is what Top Fan did. We started with interviewing some of my friends, two, three, four people, and we've moved on to, like I said, doing over 500 interviews in the last 2 years, 2+ years. And now we've already had it's May 22nd. We've already had our 100th episode. This is the 100th episode of this year. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's a great thing that we've been able to do, and we're excited to continue to do it. Top Fan Rivalry is all about you, the fan. I was just on an interview 2 days ago where somebody said, "Well, gee, I I know this person and I know this person." I said, "Great, they'll never be on our show." Why? Because they're former baseball players or former MLB players. It's not about them, it's about us. It's about how we fan. And it's so exciting to listen to everybody's stories. I can go on and on and on and on and on for hours just listening to people's stories. One of my favorite questions I like to ask people is I like to ask them, tell me what you think. Tell me, how did you become a fan? How did you become a fan of a specific team? And typically, you'll hear stories about, well, my dad or my grandpa or my aunt or my cousin, or it all goes back to family. Um, America's favorite pastime is truly baseball. One of my favorite episodes that I did was a number of months ago, where I did an episode with Sam and his dad, and Megan and her dad. Um, Now, Sam's dad grew up in New York area, and he is a huge Giants fan. He remembers the New York Giants. Megan's dad remembers watching the Mets when they first came into existence at the Polo Grounds. So these two guys were talking basically New York baseball, and their kids were getting a chance to listen to it and talk about it. It was a breathtaking experience for me. I lost my father when I was 18. Unfortunately, my father had passed away when I was 18. So this wasn't an opportunity back then to do something like this. So Megan and Sam will be able to listen to their dads tell stories about their experience and their love for the game long, long, long after they're gone. And that's what makes Top Fan Rivalry so special. Most recently, we just went to it on a trip to Kansas City where we sat in a suite with 24 other people. It was fantastic. Shout out to Troy. Shout out to Danielle at Airmark for everything that they did. They made it such a wonderful experience for everybody that was involved. Those two have worked tirelessly to do everything they can to establish what Airmark is doing in Kansas City. Not only did we have that experience on a Saturday, but then we were able to come back on a Sunday. And then after coming back on Sunday, myself and Amber and Megan and two others, or actually four others, I'm sorry, took a road trip to St. Louis, where the next day, the next day, we got a chance to see the Cardinals play the Mets and got some great tickets and got to meet some people outside of the stadium and talk about what Top Fan does and who we are and memories created in Kansas City, memories created in St. Louis. Earlier this year, we had the first ever Top Fan Rivalry Fan Fest in Las Vegas, Nevada. And for those that attended that fan fest, it was something not to be forgotten. We had so much fun. The first night we were there, we were staying at the Delano and we went up to the top floor and we rented out a space there and we just enjoyed being at that area and that experience. There was a lot of fun pictures that came out from that. The next day, our camera crew came in and we had rented out a suite, and the camera crew was in the suite filming. There's some fantastic episodes in the locker room. Um, just Dodgers, Giants episodes, Astros, Angels. Like it was amazing what the camera crew was able to capture. And then after that, we went out for dinner and we watched a few sporting events, football games, basketball games, things like that, but made more memories. And then the following day, we had a brunch and everybody went home. Well, at least that's what we thought was going to happen. And then for those that stayed a little extra time, we ended up creating what we call the Fremont 13 Club. We ended up going down to Fremont Street and hanging out and making even more memories and talking about baseball and talking about fans. We had fans there that were Astro fans, that were Dodger fans, that were Mets fans. We had for the Fremont 13, I'm trying to think of everybody that was there, Rangers fans there. It was, and we all came together over the love of one thing, and that's baseball, right? And normally when you have the silver boot, as they call it in Texas, where you have the Astros and the Rangers, boy, them are, kind of fighting words. Well, no, everybody enjoyed themselves. And of um, at the end of the experience, we played End of the Road as we were traveling back in our car, and that tune from Boys to Men will forever be etched in my memory for something entirely different. So we had Fan Fest. Last year we did a number of watch parties in different cities. And so we're all about getting people together. We're all about who uh, who fans how and how we can extend that fandom to others. I am so grateful. I cannot begin to imagine this experience without Amber. Amber has been the backbone of the organization. She has been the one that has kept me on track. I have these crazy ideas. Oh, we got to do this. Oh, we should go here. Oh, we should go there. And Amber's always the one that keeps it in check. And then obviously Megan, we hired somebody full time on October 16th. Megan was hired as a full-time staff member with us and employee number one, and she has been nothing less than phenomenal. She's had communications with our brand ambassadors. She's done amazing things. And Top Fan Rivalry just keeps growing and growing and growing. I stuck out to Sugarland this year for opening day. Stephanie, one of our brand ambassadors, says, "Oh, do you want to come out?" And I said, "I wish I could. I can't make it. The flights are too tough. And I got this going on and that going on." And Steph said, "Okay, no problem. I understand." Well, what she didn't know was I was booking flights and I had already had my hotel and everything. And boy, I snuck out there and surprised everybody. It was actually kind of funny because I was watching them from the press box come in and I'm taking pictures and I want to send them so badly to them, but I could not send them the pictures because I couldn't let them know that I was there. And then I come walking out. It's on Instagram. It's a lot of fun. So it was great to see everybody there that night. and just having those experiences. We had a softball tournament that we did in Southern California. We were invited to play in a softball tournament. You'll see the pictures online as well. We had, you know, a preteen on our team. It was guys, it was gals. Shout out to Cami, who was one of our pitchers. She would literally throw the ball up and be like, "Oh, that's a good one. You should swing. Oh, that's a good one. You should swing. Oh, don't swing at that one. That's bad." I could hear her from the outfield. It was great. Joe was there, who from Pop Art Sports Cards. We had a great time there. We're doing another softball tournament actually the September 14th, and I have it on really good authority that our good friend Big Dave is going to be a team captain for one of the teams, and Stephanie's going to be the team captain for the other one. And so they're going to have a great time. And the next day, we've got some surprises planned for people. That's Fan Appreciation Day. That's the day at Sugarland where it's presented by Top Fan Rivalry. So we're gonna have a lot of fun doing that. So we've had softball tournaments, we've sponsored booths at things, we've um, done a lot of different get-togethers, meet and greets, and we're gonna continue to do that. Our focus is the small guy. We want to go into a mom and pop place and bring a community together. We want to consistently bring the community together as best as we can. And obviously, we're not going to always be perfect at that, but we're sure going to have a good time. I would love to shout out everybody that I've met. I've met so many fantastic people with Top Fan Rivalry. I don't even have the time to name it, but there have been some fantastic people. And even the people that we've interviewed and we haven't seen since, they're great people. Everybody has their differences in how they fan. Everybody loves the way that they fan. And so we love that too. So at Top Fan Rivalry, if you're curious who we are Sports Talk, we are fan involved. We are all about you and your fan experience. For those of you that have had this experience, you know that the first time you do an interview, it's all about your fandom, your favorite player, ballparks that you've been to, ballparks that you want to go to. Then you see us put you in groups and we have different interviews. Sometimes we have ladies' nights. Sometimes we have just the guys on. Sometimes we intermingle both. Sometimes we talk about the American League West or the National League East or whatever that might be. But we always have a good time in what we say and how we say it with people. It's always respectful. It's always the opportunity to uh, it's always the opportunity that anybody can listen to our podcast because of the way that we present them and the way that we talk. I'm a big generations guy. Like I mentioned, I lost my father when I was young. The episode with Sam and his dad and Megan and her dad was phenomenal. There's a school teacher in Houston named Cami. I had a chance to interview her and her son at one point, and that was so much fun. Just listening to his experiences and why he loves baseball and why Cami loves baseball. That was awesome. I've had a chance to interview a friend of mine named Mo and his son, who's now playing college baseball. I had a chance to interview Dave and his son Derek, who Derek's now playing college ball, and I've watched Derek play at the highest levels in high school in some of the greatest tournaments. But listening to those guys talk, Top Fan Rivalry is really a family, and you'll hear us say FANILY, but that's truly what we strive to be for. So as I conclude this, and thank you tirelessly for everything that everybody does. Let me just say this. Number one, we are here for the long haul. We are going to do everything that we can to bring as many of the fans together in every city that we possibly can get to. We'll get to all 30 ballparks at some point. We'll get to minor league ballparks at some point. I am so excited to announce some things that are coming up. I can't do it here yet, but there will be a number of things before the end of the season this year that Top Fan Rivalry will be doing. So that being said, if you're interested in becoming a Top Fan Rivalry ambassador, reach out to us. Reach out to Megan on megan.topfanrivalry on Instagram. Let her know that you're interested in being an ambassador. She'll get you the program information and what you want to do. If you want to do a softball tournament or if there's something where you're raising money for, let us know. Let us see if we can help you. We might not be able to help you then. We might be able to. Let us know whatever we can do to help out. We'd be happy to do so. If you want to be on a podcast, reach out to the Top Fan Rivalry Instagram account or the X account slash Twitter account. Reach out to us there and let us know. Say, hey, I've got a story I want to tell. I want to talk about something. We'll get you on. If you're interested in writing an article that can go into our locker room, we'd be happy to allow you to do so and put those locker room or put those articles in our locker room. If you're interested in purchasing locker room, or after listening to this, if you're interested in purchasing anything for Top Fan Rivalry, reach out to either myself or Megan. So you can either go into the general box at Top Fan Rivalry on Instagram or on X, or you can reach out to Megan at megan.topfanrivalry. And we will figure out where you're at, who your favorite team is, and then we'll reach out and give you a brand ambassador's code for the brand ambassador that's local to you. So if you're interested, this is one day only offer, but if you're interested in the can of corn hats that I'm wearing or Top Fan Rivalry merchandise, or the locker room, don't pay full price for it. As you're listening to this, reach out to us and say, hey, I live in Boston. Is there a discount code for somebody in Boston? Or hey, I'm a Detroit Tigers fan. Is there a discount code? Or is there a Minnesota Twins code or Las Vegas Aviators or Sugarland or anything like that? Let us know. We'd be happy to provide that for you. And continue to listen. Continue to listen on wherever you listen to your podcast. Continue to watch us on YouTube. There's going to be a number of lives that we're going to be starting on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribing to us on YouTube. If you haven't done that, please do that at the end of this podcast. Please follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, X, follow or subscribe to us, follow us on Facebook, and also subscribe to us on YouTube. All those things are free to do. We love to see your content. I wish I could shout out every single person that I've worked with. I've established some incredible friendships with people. My friendship with Mikey Bleeds Blue is all because of Top Fan Rivalry, and he is a phenomenal, phenomenal person, and I consider him a very, very dear friend. I met him through Instagram, and he's become a really, really good friend of mine. I met Big Dave in Houston through another Top Fan Rivalry follower, and my friendship with Big Dave has become invaluable. He is absolutely amazing. I met Megan through social media, who we ended up hiring. I could go on and on and on. I could mention all of our brand ambassadors individually. They're all amazing. They're all strong people. They all love their fandom. They all fan hard. They all appreciate everything. The last thing that I'm going to mention to you is on Monday through Friday, we do a live on Instagram, 8 a.m. to 8:30. Now on Fridays, sometimes it's 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. It just depends. But Monday through Thursday, that's me. I will do a live for you. Typically on Monday, I'll give you the scoreboards. I'll give you who's pitching, what happened over the weekend, and we'll kind of wrap up. Tuesday through Thursday, I'll typically have guests on. Today's guest, if you haven't already missed it, today's guest is Joe from Pop Art Sports Cards. We're going to talk about our exclusive agreement. He's going to play Would You Rather. Who would he rather have on his team? He's a Philly fan, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And then on Fridays, Megan usually does a takeover, and she'll list off, or she'll have a bunch of people on. Sometimes she'll have Jen, who's Ballopino, who's a mascot. She'll have Carrie on. She'll have a number of different of the ladies on. She's been known to sneak a couple of guys on, a couple of friends of hers. And so it's always a fun episode. If you're interested in doing a Top Fan Rivalry takeover, speaking of takeovers, if you're interested in doing a Top Fan Rivalry takeover, please let us know. Reach out to Megan at megan.topfan. If you're going to a game, let us know as well. We would love to go live with you from those games. We have a number of people that go to a number of different games. One of our brand ambassadors named Philip is going to be taking a road trip this summer, and we're going to try to get him on live as much as we possibly can. Another one of our ambassadors, Rudy, loves to travel, and he just was recently in Chicago and Pittsburgh, and so we love to do lives with him. Dave Schaefer goes to a lot of college games. We love doing lives with him over at the University of Tennessee or Vanderbilt, or I think he's been down to Auburn. A lot of fun things there. So That's what we do. We do morning shows, we do series recaps, we do podcasts, we do everything and anything that we can to bring the community together. So, from the bottom of my heart, first of all, thank you for listening to this. I am so grateful. When I started this, I had a vision for it, and my vision is becoming a reality. I am so very grateful for those of you who listen daily, who interact with us on social medias, who have written articles for us, who send us emails, who want to travel with us, who we meet at ballparks, who we take pictures with. There's nothing better than this family that we've created. So again, make sure you're following us on Facebook, on Instagram, on X. Subscribe to us on YouTube. If you're interested in writing an article that can go in the locker room, let us know. If you're interested in getting a discount code of one of our brand ambassadors, hit us up. We'll tell you which person is close to you, and we'll make sure that we get that out to you. I want to also, as I wrap up, I want to shout out my good friend Chris and my good friend Garrett over at the Sugarland Space Cowboys. Chris has been very integral in getting us this corporate partnership. Garrett does play-by-play. Garrett's been on the podcast before. Garrett is absolutely amazing. And also shout out to Amy, who runs their social media. So that crew over there at the Space Cowboys, hats off to you. Um, I appreciate everything you do. You guys are having a wonderful season, and I hope that that stays that way. For those of you, again, that are watching this on YouTube, ignore my messy office, right? You get to see my jerseys, but we're in the process of moving some things around, so it doesn't typically, this is my home office, so it doesn't typically look like this. Those of you that are listening to it on RSS feed or anywhere else or wherever you're listening to it, thank you so very much. We appreciate everything that you do, and we look forward to having you either on an episode or your follow or anything that you think that you want to do. So, for that being said, I'm out. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Wednesday, and reach out to us if you have any questions. We'll talk soon.